Hey everybody, it's me Stacey here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, and it is time for Saturday with Stacey, YouTube number 194. Oh, counting down to 200 YouTubes. Who would have thunk? Now, today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the YouTube before I actually tilt down and get started. So I'm hoping if you normally pass me up during this time, you hold tight and you don't pass this up until I tilt down, because you're going to miss some pretty good and important information, I think. Now, the YouTube we have for you today is pretty. It's just pretty. There's beautiful product from Dainel Smith paints, there's beautiful product from Prima marketing and Sizzix, and then we threw some do crafts in just because. So say hi to Dan the do craft man. We have winner chicken dinner to tell you about, and that is from last week's YouTube number 193, where we showed off the hot off the press garden butterfly garden kit. That wasn't just for cards, it did layouts and mixed media and so much more. And we showed you stempel paint from Viva Decor, which is really this shimmery happy stamp paint is what it is, but you don't really stamp with it, I don't think so, but it's beautiful shimmer glimmer. And so I want to announce who's the winner chicken dinners are from last week, so that I can kind of get into telling you a little bit about this week's YouTube. Now, if you didn't post a comment last week, I'm pretty sure there's no way I'm going to be reading your name today. You have to post a comment to have a chance to win. You want to be an SMS winner chicken dinner. Trust me, we send lovely prizes every YouTube. And these two people, they placed a comment. They put a comment in, and the comment was kind. I don't know what their comment exactly was, even though I prove them all. It could have been about the weather, or it could have been about their children or their grandchildren or their spouse, or a club that they belong to, or a new crafting project they just finished, or something exciting to share. It doesn't matter what you post as long as it's kind. Place your comment, put your comment in, and I will approve it. And if it's kind, then you get to be in the running for winner chicken dinner. And who knows, maybe next time it will be your name that you hear. Of course, you have to be a YouTube subscriber, so you have to have a YouTube username and login. Go to youtube.com, youtube.com, and sign up for YouTube. Get a username and login. Find my channel, Scrapbooking Made Simple. You just have to type me into the search bar, and you'll see a picture of my face. And then you click the red button that says subscribe. Then you can start posting comments. So, this week, as always, we have two winner chicken dinners, and they are going to be having some hot off the press and Viva Decor for dinner when it arrives. They're going to be so excited. Oh my gosh, those kits are fabulous. And they were valued at $29.99, and then the stempel paint is like $7.99 each, and they're going to get a few of those too. So wahoo ka-choo. Holy smokes, artichokes, that's a good price. Now, if you are Iris Daughtery? Daughtery. I'm going with Iris Daughtery. If that's you, congratulations, Iris. You are a winner chicken dinner here at SMS. But you're not alone. You have a friend, and Diane Simpkins. Woo! That's you. Congratulations, Diane, and woo! Congratulations for you, Iris. How do you claim your prizes? It is so stinking easy. You go to scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Right underneath our logo is a link that says winner chicken dinner. Click that, and then read it, follow the directions, claim your prize, and then as time permits, we send prizes every single day. We'll get to yours, and then yours will be, it'll be happy mail once it arrives. Congratulations, girls. Okay, Diane Simpkins and Iris Daughtery, today was your lucky day. I hope you claim your prize, otherwise it goes in the pile of unclaimed prizes that we used for the anniversary sale. All right, now, I want to talk to you just a little bit about today's YouTube before I tilt on down and get started. And one of the things that I get asked an awful lot in the comments or in emails is, how do I choose what I'm going to YouTube? How do I decide what it is that I'm going to bring to you? Well, first off, it has to speak to me. It has to inspire me. There has to be something special about it. It has to be a technique that I've not seen before, or a technique that maybe you haven't seen before. It has to incorporate often product that you may already have with new gorgeous product. It's about what hits me, what strikes me, what moves me. It has to move me. If I look at it and I go, meh, well, it's probably not going to get on YouTube. So that means that a manufacturer cannot pay me for a YouTube. They cannot. The manufacturers don't pay me a single dime for these YouTubes, nor can they send me free goodies or take me out to a fancy schmancy dinner. None of that works. It also doesn't matter how much business we do with them. If the product is YouTube worthy, we do it, and if it's not, it's not. And often they don't even know that I'm considering their product for a YouTube, because I'll order samples of it, just a few, I'll say it's for the store, and then I play with it. And if I'm like, oh, oh my gosh, then we call the manufacturer. And this is where their help comes in, because without them, we couldn't do these YouTubes. Obviously, if a manufacturer has 20 of something available, we can't put it on YouTube. There's more than 20 of you out there. So the manufacturer then has to work with us on making sure that there's enough product to support the YouTube, so that we have a nice offering for you, and that when it comes time to ship your order, the product is here and we're able to ship it. And so we have to work with them. And by them not being able to really, they can't pay for a YouTube. They can't do anything to get a YouTube. It's a matter of what I like. That's where the manufacturers like me, and not so much all in the same. I hear them, oh, Stacey, that was a great YouTube. Thanks for showing our product. But did you really have to pay, say our packaging stinks or our instructions are not there? Couldn't you have just said how wonderful our product is? I hear them. But by me being able to do my YouTubes as I want to do them, they're as honest as they possibly can be. They're as truthful as I can possibly be about the product. And yeah, sometimes I'll tell you the product is amazing, amazing, but they don't give you any instructions. So if you want to know how to use it, you best watch this YouTube. Or the packaging is awful. Just ignore the packaging, but wait till you see what's inside. So I wanted to answer that question for you, because I think that it's important you know how the YouTubes come about. I have to feel something when I do it. It has to spark something in me, and I hope that what it sparks in me, you're also looking for that same spark. And sometimes yes, and sometimes no. But I always have fun doing it, and I'm such a technique junkie. I'm a huge technique junkie, because I have the attention span literally of a gnat. I want to learn how to use everything. But then I don't want to make cards. It's just, I get so stressed out. Do I put the flower there? Do I put the ribbon here? Is that the right mat? To sit there, I get so nervous. Really, me, I know you're thinking, no, truly ask any of my staff for me to do a layout or a card. Oh my gosh, I like hyperventilate. Does it look good? Is it right? I am just as, probably like many of you, just as wanting it to be just as good as it can possibly be, but I'm not overly creative. Really, I'm a technique junkie, but not so creative. So anyway, that's how the YouTubes come about. And one of the things I wanted to talk to you about on this YouTube was the Dainel Smith paints. We are using Dainel Smith paints today. And maybe you've never heard of Dainel Smith paints, or the only place you've heard about Dainel Smith paints are from us. And there's a reason for that. Dainel Smith paints are a fine art paint. That doesn't mean they're expensive. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't use them. Fine art is the quality of the product that you're using, not the quality of the person who's using it. Because if a fine artist could only use Dainel Smith paints, holy smokes artichokes, that's not me. But as a crafter, I want to use things that are quality. Even in my products, the products that I bring to you, I want to bring quality products. So if I can bring you something that's a superior quality at a price point that you can afford, then why wouldn't we do that? Even though it's fine art. What does that mean? That just means that the quality of the product is fine art. Not necessarily we're going to be fine artists. No, we're crafters. We want to have fun with it. But if you were out shopping for tires for your car, You would certainly want to put the best tires on your car that you could possibly afford. Absolutely. Wouldn't you want to put the best paint down or the best quality product that you can use if you can afford it? And sometimes that's stepping out of the paper crafting world. And because it's outside the paper crafting world, the scrapbooking world, the pricing is not, this is where the manufacturers don't like me, the pricing's not inflated. Sometimes scrapbooking products can be unreasonably priced. That's not so much true in the fine art world. So I have Dainel Smith paints for you, and I think you're going to love them if you haven't seen them yet. I think you're going to appreciate how far they can go. And again, it's not, now artists that sell paintings that are $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, yes, they use Dainel Smith paints. But your art is what you create. The cards that you make and the scrapbooks that you do, that is your art. And that makes you an artist. And shouldn't you use the best because you're an artist? When you give somebody something that you've made, you've created that. That is your art. I know there was a customer here in the store the other day who said that they had made a card for somebody, and the person was so taken back by it that they framed it. Well, there you go. It's art. So I'm going to get started for today, but I did want to talk to you about the Dainel Smith paints because I don't want you to shy away. I don't want you to be afraid. I want you to experience and enjoy the quality that they put behind their products. And if it wasn't for Catherine at Dainel Smith, I would not have the free gift. I have an amazing free gift for you. It's valued at $24. I have it free for you when you buy the bundle. It's amazing. And if it wasn't for everybody at Prima, we wouldn't have these beautiful coloring books that we made cards out of. And if it wasn't for the peeps at Sizzix, I would not have the Gen Long product. So I'm going to tilt down. I'm going to get started for today. And we're going to have a good time making stuff that's just pretty. All right, down we go. Thanks for listening. It's good to see you. Down I go. Okay, and then I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Look at how better I get. I didn't even go backwards to go forwards. Oh, I did it. I'm very proud of myself. All right, so I listened to what you peeps said. I need to hold my card straight so it zooms, so it's not so blurry. But I do want to see if, oh, did you see that? There to there. See that gold on there? That was not embossed. That is from the coloring book. We made cards out of the coloring book. Is that gorgeous? So this is the free make and take that's going on right this very minute. You're watching this on Saturday. We've got the garage sale, semi-annual garage sale going on here at Scrapbooking Made Simple. We've got peeps in from all over. I mean, we've got people in from not only Southern California and Northern California, but out of state. They're also making this. So they had the opportunity. Okay, so hold it straight, Stacey. And then tilt so they can see the gold foil. Is that not absolutely magnificent? So these are the two. They have a choice downstairs. They can either do the bookmark or they can make the card. You choose. But I think they're both beautiful. So if you're anywhere in Southern California, come play with us. Okay, I'm going to put those off to the side for now. And I am going to start talking about the Dainel Smith paint. We're going to start with that first. Here's my palette of paint. The paints come in two sizes. They come in a 5 mil size, which is small, and a 15 mil size. Larger, about 3 times. 3 times 5 is 15. Now, we have the paint, the Dainel Smith paint, at the lowest possible price we can carry it every single day. We have it for the lowest price we can carry it. Because of Catherine at Dainel Smith, I'm able to offer you their paints at the exact same price the really big online and box store fine art market people are able to do it for. That means, see, this one is $5.95 for this little tube, and you're saying, oh, that's a lot of money. Well, if there's more than one of you, this paint is going to last a very, very, very long time. And what I love about a watercolor paint, it's not an oil paint, it's not an acrylic paint, is that once you put it in your palette, If it dries, the only thing you have to do to reactivate it is add water. So every time you add some into your palette, there's absolutely zero waste. And the pigment is so high on this paint that you use very little of it, which makes this little tiny bottle last a very long time. And like I said, if there's more than one of you, holy smokes, get yourself a palette and everybody put a dab in there, a nice dab, and then seal it up. And then, like I said, if it dries, no big deal. Get it wet and start using it. And then when you're out, you'll go back and you'll get another dab. But that means you're spreading the cost over a couple people, and the quality is worth it. It is absolutely worth it. So I'm going to be playing with the Dainel Smith paints today. And I'm going to start with the coloring book from Prima. Then I'm going to go to the Sizzix. And I'm going to finish up with, because it's really important you see how to use your free gift, I'm going to finish up with that. So let's start with our coloring book from Prima. Oh, see? It's foiled. Is that gorgeous? And it's on this beautiful watercolor paper. I'm guessing the watercolor paper, it might be, I can't tell the weight of the watercolor paper, but it feels like a cold press. And a beautiful watercolor paper that they've printed right on. Aren't they beautiful? Trying to hold still and then tilt so you can see. And it's not just in silver. It's by Christine Adolphe, and they're all florals. Oh my gosh. Oh, and you're saying, but this is big. What am I going to do with that? You're going to see. We're going to take it out. We're going to do something with it. They also have golds. So you've got these beautiful golds as well as the silvers. And it's very reasonably priced. It's $15 for the whole book. Can you imagine using this for cards and layouts for $15? What a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful value that is. So I'm going to start with it first. And I think I'm going to start with, ooh, this one looks nice. I'm going to start with this one. Pulls right out. It's not printed on the back, so you don't have to worry about which side do I use. Again, it's on beautiful watercolor paper. And I'm going to start maybe just on the back because I can. I am going to start with, or maybe I have some sample over here. I'll start with this one. I want to show you that you can do a wash with your watercolor paints. Let's say you're not loving the ivory background and you want to do a wash. I have got my watercolor paints in here, and let's say I want to do a yellow. So I've got my flat brush, and it takes very, very, very little yellow. Oh, I think that's probably good. So I've put just a touch of yellow into the center of my palette. And now I'm going to start diluting it down. The more water you add, the more diluted it will become. The softer yellow you will get. So, oh, very soft. So if I wanted to paint my background, I could do that. Pick up a little more color, put it in the center again, add a little bit of water to it, and just give a nice, beautiful, soft yellow. What color is that there? Beautiful soft yellow to a background. What color is that yellow if I use hardly any water with it? Just add very little water. Much stronger. It's a very pigmented yellow. So if you wanted that color to be strong, you just use less water. And you can make that color as strong as you want it to be. You can get that yellow as bright, as intense as you want it to be, all based off of how much water you use with it. That's a real contrast right there. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to do some of this background in yellow because I don't want to keep it just plain white or ivory. So I'm going to pick up a little more of my yellow. I'm going to put it right into the middle of my palette. Not too much. And mix quite a bit of water with it. Get quite a bit of water going on. And then kind of brush. Just to add a wash, a hint of color. And just brush it all the way down. And now I've got just a nice wash of color. What if I wanted to lighten that? What if I said, oh, that's more yellow than I had intended for? You can change it. Watercolor paints are forgiving. The Dainel Smith watercolor paints are very forgiving. What do you mean they're forgiving? Well, now I'm just taking my paintbrush and putting it straight into my water. I'm not picking up any of the yellow at all. I could come back over and dilute that down and pick up some of that yellow. And if I really wanted to, I could dab. With just water, I can go back in there and I can dab some of that color right up, which gives you even more of a watercolor look. I'm just pulling some of that color right up. You just pick up the water, pick up a paper towel, and dab it up. And now I've picked up quite a bit of that color, so now it's even softer. But then you're saying, well, what if I don't want it to have that mottled look? What if I don't want it to have that watercolored look? Okay, well then you can go back with a little bit of water and you can spread it out again and move it around. You're on watercolor paper, so it is very, very, very forgiving. And you can blend that yellow back to a solid color again, just with a little bit of water. So it really is, now I'm going to dab a little more because I like the dab look. It really is up to you how you want it to look, but it doesn't have to stay the ivory if you don't want it to be ivory. Now you're saying, but now you've painted on top of that and I didn't want that flower yellow. I get it. I understand. That's when you come in with one of your other colors. And this is where I'm going to get my little brush, put it in there, and rehydrate some of these other colors. And the more water I add, the more of the pigment I'm releasing. Now my paintbrush is really, really full right now. I'm going to take it and take some of that out because I don't want it to be that full of paint. This is a little, I said a gnat and now one's come. You gonna sit on my shoulder too? Okay, so I'm gonna pick up a little bit of that paint. And then I can go in and I can paint. Oh yeah, that's highly pigmented. Oh, see how much pigment is in there? See how dark that is? Maybe I don't want it that dark. So I'm gonna get my brush pretty empty with just a little bit of water. And then I'm gonna pull that paint out. This is not hard. Honest, it just isn't. Then I can go back in, add a little bit more. And maybe I want to do that for all of them. Maybe I want to go in and grab some of that paint and put my dark area down first. So I've got my dark areas all in place. Did that all at the same time. And now I can go back and just kind of pull that paint on out. Pull that paint on out. And if I want to add a little more water to lighten it up, you just add a little bit more water. It's quick, it's simple, and don't think too much. Just let it be. Go in there and just go. Do. You're talking about paper. The coloring book is $15 with lots of pages in it. Just play. Give yourself the opportunity to try. I'm not doing anything special. All I'm doing is pulling that color out. And yes, I have the yellow underneath it. That's okay. I wanted to put the wash on. The Dainel Smith paints are so pigmented that it's going right over the yellow without any problem. Okay, but maybe I need that one to be just a little bit darker. Easy peasy. Pick up a little color, come back in, and blend it in. Easy peasy. Really, honest, it is that simple. It is that easy, especially when you're using beautiful product. And the coloring book is made beautifully. The paper they've used is beautiful paper. And then you mix it with a fine art paint, and you're just good to go. But you say, what if that is too dark for you? What if you wanted it lighter? Okay, not a problem. Take your paper towel. You can go back in, add a little color, a little water, and then do the same thing we did before. You can dab it out, and you can soften that color even more just by adding straight water and soften it out. And now I've softened it by just using water and a paper towel. But then you want to add a darker. You can play. Now you, oh, that wasn't exactly what I wanted. Okay, let's go back in and add some dark again. You're not committed to anything. You can just play and learn. And then when it's exactly the way you want it, move on. So then let's go ahead and let's get some of, let's say the red. Let's see if we can regenerate some of the red. Oh, that's more pink than it is red. That's bright pink. Ooh-wee doggies, okay. And, oh, really loaded. Get it in there. Get it in there. And then I'm gonna get it out of my paintbrush, a little bit of water, and pull that color out. And I'm not gonna pull it so far so that it actually blends into the yellow at the tips. I'm only gonna pull it halfway so that it blends into the yellow at the tips. Ooh, so pretty. And if I wanted a little, this is where we're at. And if I wanted it a little bit darker to add a little more dimension, I can just add a little bit down here at the bottom, just to give a little bit more shadow. It'll make the highlight a little bit highlightier. Is that a word? Highlightier. Just add a little bit more dimension to it. And that's all I'm doing, and I'm using so little. Now I've added a little bit more to add some more dimension to it. It really is that simple. And when I'm done, I let it dry. I put my lid on it. It'll dry all by itself, and you're good to go. But then we have that shimmer paint. That shimmer paint. Ooh, that's got a little yellow in it. Yeah, it's got a little yellow. I think I'm gonna re-shimmer. I must have dabbed my yellow in it. So I'm gonna get a little bit of the shimmer paint right there. Ooh, a lot of shimmer paint. And the shimmer paint is also water soluble. It's a watercolor paint. So again, you can just dip right into it, and you can go over and add just a little bit of sparkle and shine if you want. And you can add it as much as your heart's content, because it's all up to you. I don't know if it'll zoom. I'm trying to hold it. I don't know if it's picking it up, but it's there. It's on there. It's a beautiful shimmer. And then I could go into my green and rehydrate my green. And just that little dot is going to last me a really long time. Just that little dot. Water. There we go. And then I could come in and do the leaves. So the coloring book with the foil on it, the foil acts as a resist. The paint doesn't stick to the foil. It comes off, it's its own resist. So you can't accidentally paint over the foil. It won't let you. I want to lighten those up a little bit. It won't let you paint over the foil. The foil is acting as its own resist, which is very lovely, because then the paint itself is transparent. Well, you can make it opaque if you put it on heavy enough, but it goes right over that foil and finds the little nooks and crannies that it needs to go into, and then you're good. And it resists from that foil. But what if you accidentally make a mistake? What if you are using some of the pink, and let's get this clean. Let's say you were using some of the pink and you accidentally went out of the lines. Oh no! What did I do? I went out of the lines and I've ruined the whole thing. Oh no, what have I done? Oops. That's okay too. you're just gonna go in and fix it. So first off, I blobbed it off. Next thing, I'm gonna go in with a nice clean brush that just has water. And I can start working that out so that I haven't ruined my entire picture because I accidentally let my hand cross it. So I'm pulling it up by adding water. And because I'm on watercolor paper, I can do that. And I'm pulling it up. And then when I've got it to a point where I think I've pulled as much of it up as I can, I'm going to go back in with some of my yellow. And try and fix my little oopsie. So you can play and you can make an oopsie and go back in and do your best to fix it so that it's not such an oopsie anymore. That's how lovely the paints are, and that's the quality of the book. It's a really beautiful coloring book. But you're saying, okay, now what do we do with it? You've painted. Yes, I wonder what color this is. Can I get in there? Oh, that's a rich purple. And what color is this? Oh, maybe I have two rich purples. Ooh. Ooh, and what color is this? It's crazy because you just want to play with all the colors. They're so vibrant and so lovely. Oh yeah, I like that one. Oh yeah, that's me. Let's pull it all the way around. Maybe add a little more. Get rid of some of the water so it's a little richer. And then pull. Pull that color right out. Just spread it right on out. Oh yeah. And you can see I'm not painstakingly trying to stay in the lines. I'm just enjoying it. I want a little bit more depth around the center. Darker in the center, keep pulling some of that color. Oh yeah. And then a little water, just to kind of blend. Maybe do a quick pull up. Oh, so pretty. Love the colors. Oh, so pretty. So this is using Dainel Smith paint. And again, you can use it as a wash on anything. It doesn't have to be watercolor paper. A good, solid, sturdy cardstock will work. My 100-pound cardstock will work. Almost anybody's 100-pound cardstock is heavy enough to absorb the water. Now, with cardstock, you can't go back and 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 back because it will start to roll up. There's no question about it. But you absolutely have the opportunity to go in there and paint something. If you have got a stamp that you want to use and you want to paint it, you can use plain cardstock. Otherwise, there is watercolor paper out there. Lots of stores carry them. We carry it. And I think the 5x7, I'm just trying to get some of that beautiful teal to make a beautiful wash. And just wash the paper with that beautiful, stunning background color. Because maybe you don't want to leave it one color, the ivory. Take that and put that right into the yellow. Blend that right into the yellow. And you've made a stunning little ombre. Beautiful little ombre effect, just using water. You saw me do it. It's not that hard. It's not hard at all. And if I want that top to be even darker, I just come right back in. And layer down another row of color. The more water you use, the lighter the color will be. Back and forth. You can do this, I promise you. But now what do you do with it now that we've done it? Well, now you take it and you cut it up and you make a beautiful card with it. You cut pieces. You can probably get 3 or 4 cards out of this one piece once it's done painting, or you can frame it and give it to somebody, or you can put it in your scrapbook, or you can make mixed media out of it. But you can chop it up and do something with it. What do I mean by that? Well, these cards were all made from the watercolor book. These were all done taking snippets of pages from the book and transforming it into something else. This has got a light purple wash behind it. It's that piece right there. So we still probably could get another card. It's that piece right there that made that stunner of a card with a light purple wash. This one has a light yellow wash, and let's see what page that one's from. It's from is that the first page? No. That one? No. Yeah. No. No. Try again. That one. This card came from this snippet right up here. And you can still see the foil because the Dainel Smith resists it. Any paint will resist it. And if you don't have Dainel Smith paints, can you still do this? Absolutely. If you have watercolor pencils or you have clean color pens, can you use them? Yes, of course you can. But if you want to buy a watercolor paint, a true watercolor paint, then Dainel Smith is the one you're going to want to go with. However, you can certainly go in there with your watercolor pencils and you can achieve a stunning effect. You can certainly go in there with your clean color pens and achieve a stunning effect. You can palette paint with your other markers and pick it up with a paintbrush and go in. I just love how vibrant and how beautiful the Dainel Smith paints are, and that they allow you, oh, I put my fingerprint in that one. I put my fingerprint in that. So we would need to go back and fix it because I got my fingerprint in there. So let's make my fingerprint disappear. Oh, it's gone. I just love how amazingly forgiving they are, how long they last, and that you can share them because there's so much in that little tube. So this card was also done. So I'm going to show you the rest of them in a little bit. Show you the rest of them in a few minutes. Next, I want to move to the Jen Long book. This is for somebody who wants to color, whether it be with your Kaiser Craft gel pens or your clean color or your colored pencils, but wants to do it in a very small way. Doesn't want that big piece that might be a little too intimidating for you to start with. This is an awesome way. This is from Sizzix. Yeah, Sizzix, the die people. Hello, they're not just dies anymore. This is Jen Long's new coloring cards, and they're beautiful. They're absolutely gorgeous, and they're, for me, I can see a beginning, a start, and an end. I know I can sit down and finish this and be okay. It's not a forever project. And so it's awesome if you're traveling or if you're going to a crop. Look at how beautiful this is. Gosh, my favorite one is back here. Well, I love the hello. Absolutely love the hello. But I also love the love. And she's incorporated the L for love. Isn't that beautiful? So these were all hand drawn by Jen, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna color, because you're able to take this and make a card out of it. You can make a postcard out of it. You can make a mat for a frame, a picture out of it. You can, my goodness, there's tons of things that can be done. And you can still use your Dainel Smith paints, absolutely. You may need a slightly thinner brush, a finer brush to use, but yes, you can absolutely use them. And could I do the same thing as a wash? Sure I could. Sure I could get into there and do the same thing. No, this is not watercolor paper. It is not. But does that mean I can't do it? No, it just means I can't go back and back and back and back and back. I have to decide. Oh, I like that. Back and 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 back. So I absolutely can add a wash to it if I don't want to leave it white. And absolutely, I can go back and darken my color should I want to darken my color. And I can go in there and I can blot some of my color up if I want to blot some of my color up. Yes, you still have all of that capability. You just can't go over it a million times, because eventually the paper will start to disintegrate. There's no question about it. So I've got a wash on it now, and then I can do the exact same thing I was doing before. I can take my beautiful colors. Maybe I just want to use some of my shimmer. Maybe I just go in there and add some shimmer on top of that. Ooh, I love this beautiful. Their shimmers are magnificent. So I didn't add any color whatsoever. I just picked up the shimmer and put the shimmer over it. So there it is, and now I'm going to tilt it so you can see. And hopefully the zooming, it's not going crazy. That's just adding shimmer right over it. So when you're looking at it straight on, it doesn't look like anything's been done to it. But when you tilt it is when you see it. So when somebody you're giving it to looks at it straight on, it's when they move it, it pops. It just jumps out at you. It is gorgeous. Okay, we've got the little wings up here. Okay, we got to have the shimmered wings. Didn't add enough water. Let's go in there and add a little more water. Oh, better. Shimmered wings. Pick some of that up a little bit. Oh, I got it down too much on my first wing. I didn't add enough water. Let's see if I can pick some of it back up by just adding water. Why, yes. Yes, I can. That's a little bit of happiness. Why, yes. Oh, I fixed it. Yay. I can add a little bit more back in. And now I've got my shimmered wings. Of course, now I've put my hand in my but it didn't rub off. Isn't that nice? It didn't come off on me. That's good. Okay, so with Jen's cards, it's it's a smaller scale project with the same beautiful effect. You can get in there and you can color, you can paint, you can go in there. And I'm a type of girl who I'm gonna just get in there, get this really, I want this light, 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 light. Just go in there and I'm just gonna paint the whole thing all at once. Whole flower, all at once. And then paint another whole flower all at once. And move on. I don't have to paint every single thing that's there. I like to leave a little bit of empty space. I like my things to really pop. I would definitely do more than this, but I absolutely want them to pop. Now, the nice thing about Jen's set is that not only does it come with the cards, and look at what she's done for you. She's given you these little cheat sheets about color palettes to help you figure out what colors go together. It's right there in the set for you so that you know how to do your color palettes and what's going to look well together. But on top of that, for the first time, they've included a stamp set. It comes with the coloring cards. It's $9.99. You get the coloring cards and the stamp set. And the stamp set is perfect to fit right in the center of your coloring cards. That's what it's meant to go for, right in the center. But the sentiments are generic. They're happy birthday and thank you. So you can use them with just about anything. Now I'm gonna go ahead and stamp. See, I was working on this one earlier. I was playing with this one earlier. See, I went in there and I made that color. Let's see, I went in there, it was with this one. And I made that color really dark. So I went in and I made it really dark. And then I took my little paper towel and I blotted it up. And by doing that, it left some dimension behind. It left some shading and some shadowing, and I didn't have to do anything. All I did was put some color down, dark, 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 and then blot. And it leaves some shading and some shadowing behind. Love it, works for me. That's my kind of crafting. Add some color, blot, and it's left some texture behind. That is my kind of crafting. But I want to show you that you can stamp on it. See, because I would just go in here and I would just color, 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 color. And then maybe add a little bit of water and pull some of that color up to the top. And poof. I've got highlight, tone, middle tone, and low light. Woohoo! In all of, what was that, 30 seconds? Yeah, all I did, I could go back on this one. All I did was go paint, 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 paint. Dark, 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 dark. Light, 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 light. And then poof. And I've got dimension to my color. That's how easy these are. And you haven't seen me add any color to these. Those little dots are teeny tiny, and look at how much I'm able to do. But I do want to show you the stamp sets. So I'm going to bring over my Gush pad, and I'm going to bring over something from Do Crafts. Now this is new for us, and I normally carry the Tim Holtz grid blocks, and I love my Tim Holtz grid blocks. I still have them and I still use them. They're super thin. But Do Crafts came out with these, and same thing, they have no idea I'm YouTubing this right now. Surprise! They have no clue that this is going on YouTube. I ordered a large quantity, so they probably have well, I don't know if they have an understanding or not. But these are at a price point that I thought was pretty darn rock star. Oh, how am I gonna open it? Oh, I got my scissors. Okay, first off, I thought, oh my. Okay, they're giving you a gush pad too, but I was wrong. I thought, oh, they're giving you a gush pad and your blocks. That's pretty rock star, but I was wrong. They're just giving you a very cool way to store your blocks. So they're not as thin as Tim's. That's a Tim Holtz grid block. This is Do Crafts grid block, but they're not as thick as many of the others. And I don't like thick blocks because I need to feel the pressure that I'm applying. And if the block is too thick, you don't know if you've got good contact or not. They all are gridded out, which is very lovely. And they come in this cute little storage so that you never lose them. How happy is that? They just pop right in. And you have them at your fingertips, always. That's probably the thing I love most about them, is because I'm constantly losing mine. Now, they do not work as a gush mat. You can't turn it over and use it as a gush pad because it sinks in. No matter what one you're pulling out, it sinks in. So you don't want to use this in place of a gush mat. The gush mats are $1.99. It's twice this size. It's cut in half. Just spend the $1.99 and get a Simply Refined gush mat because you can't use this. It just doesn't work. But I am going to use it to stamp with. So I've got my block. I've got my Genlong card. I have got my stamp, and let's see about happy birthday to you. And again, they come with the cards. It's a set. It's an awesome set. Put it right on there. My Memento ink is right here. Ink myself up. Now you notice I'm inking this way. Don't go this way. Don't try and do it this way. Go this way. It's much easier. Get myself some good ink. Put my paper down. Line up my happy birthday. And give a good press. Now, I'm not going to do chest compressions. The point of having a gush pad is so you don't have to do chest compressions. The gush pad lets the stamp sink into the paper because the paper's sinking into the gush pad, and that makes it have better contact. And then I'm going to pull up, and ta-da! Happy birthday for you! Easy peasy. And you can do this you can frame this and put this on a birthday page in a layout. You can use it for a card. There is so much to be done with them. And you get a lot for your money. Again, for $10, if you've got gel pens, or you have got colored pencils, or you like the Dainel Smith paints and you have them, or you want them, or you have some other form of water painting, watercolor paints, this is a nice option. If this looks a little scary, this is a perfect option. Okay? So I wanted to show you that, and I wanted you to see the stamps because you get them basically for free. It's a nice little bundle, very nice little bundle, really happy with it. And I wanted to show you the new blocks. You get 5 of them. How much are they? Oh, I knew you were going to ask me that. $12.50 for the whole thing. And then they're on sale on a YouTube Yummy. $12.50 for all of it, and then they're on sale for a YouTube Yummy. And while you don't get as many blocks as you would with the Tim Holtz grid blocks, if you're not a huge stamper, this is a very nice set to own. It's cost effective. Gives you everything you need. I love the little storage unit, and it gives you enough in the sizes to where most of your stamps are going to fit here. The majority of your stamps are going to fit here. So this is a 6x4, so background stamps. This is a 2x2. Here you've got a 3x2. Most of your stamps will fit here. And for $12.50, and then it's on sale, so it's probably closer to, I don't know, $10 maybe? Maybe? You can't go wrong. It's a great little value. And Dan the Do Craft Man, surprise! Okay, so that is using Jen's. Now I'm going to show you those samples. I'm going to show you some of the samples that Jen did. Oh, here, we were working on this sample and didn't get time to finish it to make it into a finished card. So Yvette was working on this one. And then, oh, that one's wrong. That one should have been there. And then we've got some other samples done with her. Look at that. It's just waiting for that sentiment. It's just waiting for you to stamp it. And it gives you the stamp. So if you need a thank you or a happy birthday, she's given it to you. Look at how cute is the hello. So these are all out of the In Bloom coloring cards by Sizzix. Just darling. Okay, so I am going to show you the rest of the samples for the coloring book, and then the last thing I'm going to do is talk to you about this, and I need you to see how to use this. That way when you get it, you'll remember it. Although I have to say, the instructions are pretty rock star. All right, so did I show you this one? I don't remember. How fab is that? Yvette did this one. And then I did show you this one. And I showed you this one. I showed you this one. But now you're saying, Stacey, where did those bookmarks come from? Well, here's one of the bookmarks. And here's a bookmark. Here's a bookmark. And here's a bookmark. Where did they come from? They came from the coloring book. The coloring book actually has the bookmarks in there. We just matted it. We cut it out. It has the lines to cut it, painted it, and then matted it. Same thing with these cards here. This is a postcard. The other half of it's right there. These come with the coloring book. We just cut it so that we only used half of it. It's part of a postcard. You can see. There's the line. There's the line that separates it. That's a postcard. It comes in the coloring book. This is a postcard. I didn't want it as a postcard. I wanted it for a make and take. So we just chopped off the postcard bit and did the cute make and take with it. These are all done. This is a postcard that comes in the coloring book. Look at that. Is that beautiful? So the bookmarks and the postcards come in the coloring book. We just chopped the postcard in half. Shh. Now maybe you want to send a postcard and you can. But I wanted to make cards with it. So that is using on the back. On the back it shows you somewhere down here, it shows you the bookmarks and the postcards, what you get inside. All right, lastly, the last thing I'm going to do is show you how to use the free gift you're going to get. So let's see, this is how it comes. There's 4 different kits. You're going to get a random one. Whichever one comes in your bundle is the one you get. They have a retail value of $23.99. And if you weren't sure about Dainel Smith paints, this is going to let you play with them for absolutely free. You're going to get it for free. Even if you don't buy any of the other paints, this is going to let you play with it. What does it come with? All right, well, let's do this one. What does it come with? Comes with a paintbrush. I'm going to tell you right now. The paintbrush, meh, not so good. You may want to use your own paintbrush. It's the only thing in the whole kit I am not crazy about. Comes with a DVD. So the DVD has 4 painting project instructions on them. Comes with a DVD. Put it in your computer and read it. Watch it. Comes with painting instructions. It comes with 4 different flowers. Well, each one of them is different. 4 different designs. It comes with watercolor paper. It comes with its own little palette. And most importantly, it comes with a Dainel Smith dot card. This is gold. This is such a value. This lets you play with Dainel Smith paints without ever having to actually go out and say, oh, do I really want them? Once you do this, yeah, you're going to really want them. This is a dot card. Normally these sell all by themselves, but I want to show you how to make this work. So I'm going to need my dot card. And the dot card shows you which project it's for. Remember, I showed you the 4 different flowers. So there's the daffodil. Here's the paint for the daffodil. Will the dot card do more than one? Yeah, you probably can get 2 out of every dot card. But I can already hear you. Stacey, I can't draw. I get it, me neither. I can't. So, they've taken care of that for you as well. Do you remember when you were in elementary school, you would go and run dittos, make carbon copies of tests for your teachers if you happened to be a TA, a teacher's assistant, or if they asked you to? That is what this is. It's a very light gray graphite or carbon paper that you put right down on top of your watercolor paper. You lay your design right over the top of it. You do not freehand at all. You take a pencil, something with a nice sharp point, and you don't have to press too hard. Make sure I have that down right. You don't have to press too hard, and you just trace. And that means you can use this again and again. You can use this design again and again and again. It means that you could print something from your computer and put down the little carbon tracing paper and go. You don't have to be able to freehand or draw. You're just following the lines. And I'm not even following the lines exact. I'm an artiste. I'm getting, I'm going along as close as I can, but I'm not going to sit there and worry about being absolutely perfect. I just want to get that design down. And you can go over this again and again and again, as long as you've got a tracing paper underneath it, a copy paper. You can use this image again and again. So I'm almost done, and they give you 4 images. And you have enough paint on that dot card to do all 4 images, probably twice. So I'm not going to do the whole thing. I just want to give you an idea. Of what you do. So the other flower comes in here. And now you take your dot card, you get your paintbrush, and you put water straight to it. And you can paint right on. And remember, I'm starting with my yellow down there really dark. So I went really dark around the outside. I can hear Catherine right now from Dainel Smith. Clean your water, Stacey. And then I'm going to pull some of that color out. To give a highlight and a mid-tone. I can hear her pull. Clean that water. Pull that color out. And you can see what's happening. I'm painting. Look, Mom, I'm doing it. And you've got other colors to play with. So they've given you the orangey color. Look at how beautiful that color is. Which you can go in and kind of follow what they've done. Go in and add that orangey in here. And as long as that dot card's got color, you've got paint. As long as you can pick up that paint, you've got color. You can continue. And in case you didn't know, there is actually a person at Dainel Smith who sits there and puts these dot cards together. Bless her soul. I'm just going to get it on in there. And then if I want to add a little darker, add a little bit more water, pick up a little more paint, go back in there, maybe add it a little bit darker on this side. It's all up to me. I can pull my paint out over here. It's been sitting there a while, but all I have to do is add water to it. And I was able to continually pull my paint out. I want a little more yellow, a little darker yellow. Just come in at the bottom with a little bit more yellow and less water. But this is what you're going to get for free. So you get enough to do all 4 designs. Or if there's a design you don't particularly care for, you could make 4 of the dandelions. You'll have to use, well, they give you yellow all the way down. So you may have to get a little creative with your dot card, but this is what they're going to give you for free, along with instructions. How do you get this for free? That's when you buy the bundle. What bundle am I talking about? Well, I wanted to make it easy and I wanted to give you lots to color with. So we put together the Sizzix Gen Long bundle with the coloring cards with the stamp and the Prima watercoloring from Christina Dolph. And inside, you're also going to get the free Learn to Paint Step by Step from Dainel Smith that has a $24 value. So the whole price for everything, $24.99. That gets you both the watercoloring book and the Sizzix book and it gives you the opportunity to learn about Dainel Smith paints. And if you really want to, if you want to take these dot cards, you can absolutely use them here and here if you don't want to use it on the pre-done. Although it's fascinating to watch. It's amazing to just trace a beautiful image and then paint it. It's hand done. You did this. So you're going to get it all. The value is $48.98 for $24.99. There's no other paint in here except for the dot card that's in here. We wanted you to play. We wanted you to try and experience and see why I love it, and hopefully you love it as well. So for 25 bucks, you've got yourself a love, and my goodness, this would make a wonderful gift for somebody. Holy smokes, especially a teenager who's just really starting to get artistic. This gives them so much to play with. Just gorgeous. I want to show you really quickly. Yvette did too. And I told her to keep them very simple. So Yvette did too. She did the bird. I told her to keep them very simple. She only used the colors that were on the dot card that were used for the bird. That's all she used. She also did the flower. Again, from the kit. And she only used the 3 colors that were allotted for this flower. Now she put a little bling on the top of it, but that's Yvette. So I wanted to show you. She traced them with the graphite paper or the copy paper and then used the colors that were provided. So you're going to get one of those kits for free. And here are the pictures of what comes in each kit. So this is the floral one that has the daffodils that I was playing with. So those are the 4 different images that you get. Don't know what they're all called, but this one's got the beautiful sunflower and the rooster. So if you're not in love with the rooster, you can do the sunflower twice. But if you love, love, love the rooster, maybe you have a country kitchen and you want to put this in your country kitchen. You want to paint that and put that in your country kitchen. So that one is the one Yvette did, where did I put it? Oh, here. So that one is the one that Yvette did. And then last but not least, the one with the bluebird. Now, you can see they colored their bluebird all blue. Yvette left quite a bit of it, a little bit lighter blue than what they did. But you can choose to do that depending on how heavy you put the paint. So these are the 4 different kits, and it's just going to be a random one. You're going to get the one you get, and hopefully you love it because they're all packaged with a different kit, and the shipping is just going to pick it and get it out to you. So, gosh, I hope you liked what we showed you today. And I hope that I was able to explain the difference between what I think fine art means. Fine art means the quality of the product, not necessarily the talent behind it or who's working with it. But if you start with something great, you usually finish with something great. And as you grow in your creativity, you'll find that you love the paints more and more. And if you're not ready for the paints, play with the coloring books, and we're giving you the paints to play with so you can see if you love them. And if you have gel pens or clean color or another medium that you love, you're going to be just as happy with those coloring books because they really are wonderful. All right, it's me, Stacey. I'm going to tilt on up. I'm going to say, whoo! Hey, Dan the Do Craft Man, surprise! You're probably going, gosh, she had an order for those. I wonder what she was planning on doing with all those, with all those stamp blocks. I can just go home, see him going, All right, you guys, it's me, Stacey, Scrapbooking Made Simple. Where are you going to find all of this great product? Well, I can tell you, right now, you're going to find this stuff at our place. We've got it pretty much all. Well, this I'm sure you're only going to find at our place. This stuff we pretty much got locked up. So hopefully you may find it at your local retailer. They may have it in store. But I think we've offered a really wonderful opportunity to play and to create. And now you know how the YouTubes come to be, and that I have to feel them. Just like when I design my own product, it has to spark something in me. That way I can bring it to you, and bring it to you in a way that is truthful and honest and real. So I'm excited for today, and I hope you are too. All right, I will see you, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. I will see you next week. Bye, everybody. Oh, look at, warehouse is closed. Everybody's gone for the day. Bye.